Oh shit. Working. Maybe. Allegedly. Oh, I gotta stop the music. Okay. It looks like it's live. Cool. And then I can change the perfect. Okay, so we are live. That's cool. Got that going. Hopefully that sticks out. That checks out. I'll go drop this on Facebook. Pow, 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 pow. I think this is the first time in like a week that I actually was live at the time that I was supposed to be live. So, success on my part. The little things, you know. Do. Okay, so let me pull YouTube over here. First time in like a week that I actually was that is good. That is good. I'm gonna have to pull it up on my other phone. Success on my part. Cool. Oh, I can hear me on your side. Okay, okay, it's all good. Now I gotta get my audio here. Use that royalty-free music. The old RuneScape, that's my jam. Do-do-do-do. Need to get the I need to get the YouTube royalty-free playlist set up. That's something that I gotta work on. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, how's that going? Something light, not too loud. Cool. That's at me at half volume. Something low. Cool. Got that running. All right. Looking good. Okay. 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 And the last thing I need to do is I need to pull this over to Facebook. Facebook. Got that running. All right. Looking good. Okay. Is that me hearing you? Oh, it's because I can hear myself on YouTube. Yeah, I need to mute that. That's going to be pretty annoying. All right. Cool. Now I got to take this link, share this bad Larry. Pop, 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 pow. Share. Share to Facebook. I want to be able to open a new Facebook tab. That's good to know. Do, 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 do. You're on Facebook, right?
Yeah, I got Facebook.
Bang. Tagged him. Live on YouTube. Developing real estate business venture. Join. Post live on YouTube. Developing real estate business venture structure. I can't spell today. Live on YouTube. Put that on my feed. Put that on my story. Tag friends. Can I check everybody? Is that an option? Bro, this tagging shit's got to be easier. I got to find a better way because that's literally a barrier for me. Dude, there's got to be a better way. There has to be. We want to check in at Jacksonville. Cool. And then feeling fucking. Greatness. Boom. Oh, don't do that. Facebook was like, we're going to tell you that we can do this, but we're not actually going to share it. So get kicked. Kick rocks, boy. Damn, they did me like that. All they got over here is the OK button. That's cold. I'm just going to copy it. Go post it manually. That's cold, Facebook. Make sure it didn't actually go. Oh, it showed up. All right, cool, man. So we're live on YouTube. Pull that up over here, and then we can keep going. Shout out to all you guys out there in YouTube land. I appreciate you. All right, Earl. So kind of getting down into the nitty gritty here today. What what are we trying to get after? So today we have to gotta hit these KPIs. We gotta definitely whittle down the hard market and then the attack that we're going after, right? But maybe we try to attack it in the order that it's actually in, right? Does that make sense? So like one thing that we don't have on here right now, fully fleshed out. I'm sorry, trying to make sure my thing is actually live and I can see myself. There we go. Cool. That's a lot of space. I want to zoom in some. I see a lot of space on the view here. We'll zoom in about 150. That's hella big on the screen. I think that'll work. Maybe even further. Let's go 200. Okay, that's not bad. Okay, cool. So we're at 200. The short term, obviously, we've already talked about this part. We want to adopt the legal structure. We want to adopt tax strategy. This one doesn't necessarily apply. And then identify partner and local with nonprofit organizations. Obviously, the dates will have to be modified. I'm going to highlight them all because I don't want to change them all right now. I'm going to share. I'm going to drop the link to you real quick, girl, so you can get in here as well. We can kind of co-author simultaneously. Love it to you in Zoom. Everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Paris Capers and Earl Perry. We are on Zoom every day. This is your chance to like and subscribe. If you like this video, if you like to see more stuff like this, if you're looking for somebody that you can partner up with, myself and Earl are in here each day. And then there's some other folks that come on through. And today we are actually building the system live for you guys that we're looking to operate in and under. So come on through. Get some of this, get access to this team. If you need the Zoom link, you can comment below. And then usually what I'll do is I'll just DM it straight to you. There you go. I see Earl up in here. Cool. All right. All right. So what were we looking at here? So the long term, right? We want to produce $10,000 per month in passive income through real estate investing. And really what we're talking about here is I would say that no, I think that we were talking about this one, right? We want to make this a short-term goal. I guess the conversation that we're looking at is what is the distinction between a short-term and long-term goal? I think a short-term goal in the big picture is less than a year. And a long-term goal is greater than a year. Really, I would say a short-term goal is even shorter than that, but I mean a little bit longer than that, but I am going to take this one. I am going to put this here. What we want to do is we want to generate $60,000 per month in revenue. All right, $60,000 per month, and in the markets that we talked about were, we'll say North Carolina for now. By purchasing, now this is something that we can identify because these are actually two different items, and that's why this is different. That makes sense. In the short term, we want to produce $6,000 per month in gross revenue through real estate investing in North Carolina. So there's actually two tasks that we're talking about here. One of them is short term, which is assignments. And so this one is sourcing and assigning real property for a minimum of 10,000 per deal. You copy all that, Earl?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Produce.
All right, cool.
North Carolina person is real Republican. Okay, yeah, we talked about this. You just copied it over.
Yep. Okay. And then the long term, obviously, again, the dates will have to adjust. One of the long term goals, and again, I'm looking at long term in the sense of 1 year plus.
That makes sense.
Right. And maybe that doesn't necessarily fully align, but we can always revisit this. Short term as it is right now is less than 1 year.
Yeah.
Right. So we want to produce, so the short term, we want to produce 60 per month in gross revenue. What is the long-term goal? The long-term goal is that we're not in the rat race and we're not stuck generating these leads, but also that the activity of the machine eventually pays us so much that we don't have to have it running at all. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that we turn it off, but the goal is that it has created enough value. And so this one is the one where it's units and assets, right? So, and even in this one, right, we can call it the same number, but I think that we'll scrutinize this specifically, how much it brings in gross, and not gross revenue and net profit. I'll say net profit.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, we're going to generate $10,000 a month in net profit through real estate investing in North Carolina by purchasing. And so this is the one that I was talking about before, where in this context, we needed 10,000. We wanted $10,000 a month. It's 48 times 200, which was 9,600. So it's really 50 times 2,200. But I think that what I'm really looking at is, well, we can call it 200 a month. That's good. $200 net.
That's fine. At least 200 net.
A minimum. Produce $30,000 a month in net profit through real estate investing in North Carolina by purchasing 48, and it's not 48 units. So in this case, if we're looking at
realistically,
30,
what do you think should be a goal here, right? Because before, when I was doing this myself with Keshawn, our goal was 50 units.
50 units?
Yeah, our goal was 50 units. But if
why was it 50 units?
Our goal is 50 units. One, because we wanted to be able to manage the units, and we felt as if though we were able to build our way up to that 50, not moving too fast to getting 20 units plus, but getting smaller commercial deals like 7, 12, 15 units. We'll be able to know how to manage the actual asset. And then from there, we'll be able to scale up. So that was kind of our thought process.
So that makes sense. And so here's why I would say I think that is a vision type goal, but I'm looking for a quantitative and qualitative type goal. So the reason that the math that I'm doing right now is based on two assumptions. One, that I don't want to actually manage anything. Although I have the capacity, the goal is that we're building a system that does all the things and includes property management at some level, right? Because I don't want to have to do it. That's not what I want my time to be spent as. And number two, the reason that I'm calculating, the reason that we would calculate how much we want per month and then down to the number of units and the net profit is because if we say we want to generate 30,000, so for us, what we were looking at is we said we want $10,000 a month where we don't have to work on it. We don't want to do anything. And so based on that, at the $200 threshold, it's 50 properties. If we're looking at, and this was $10,000 net, right? So if that's the case, $10,000 net, if we're talking about dividing that capital amongst 3 families, well, then it's literally not 3, right? And there's other things to consider in there, but the outcomes that we were looking at were if the net is 200, like after everything else is 200, however many it is, we want to hit 150 units. That gives us $30,000 per month in net profit. All right, and this one, it wasn't just net profit; it's passive income, right? And that's an important piece because it changes it does different things for tax purposes. The reason that I use that term is a whole bunch of reasons. Right. So produce $30,000 a month in passive income through real estate investing and through holding, do buy and hold real estate investing in North Carolina by purchasing. I won't even say purchasing, it's really acquiring. Acquiring 150 units, each cash flowing a minimum of $200 net profit monthly by whatever date. And here's the other thing. The number of units is actually irrelevant because there will be some deals that cash flow more. And so instead of 200, I don't even care about the units.
Should we just focus on what the actual criteria should be for a deal?
Exactly. I think that's exactly what we're gonna have to get to, right? So if we know what our goal is, i.e., we want to create gross revenue and revenue / active income. So this is what it is. This is gross revenue.
Okay, so we're including that now for the Perry method because the Perry method could allow for that to happen.
Well, the methods that we're going to use will be varied, but yeah, the Perry method could be used for these things. The reason that I'm writing it this way is that this is, I'll even put it, right? This is assignments. This one is buy and hold.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And we can even make it, we just making it that much clearer. What are we doing in the short term? This is the assignments. We need to produce $60,000 a month. That's one machine. The other machine that we're building is a buy and hold machine, whether it's Perry method or Morby method or sub 2 or hybrid or whatever the case is. A lot of those things fit under the long-term space. And we can even put that in here, right? It doesn't necessarily matter what the acquisitions, it doesn't necessarily have to be in this block because how we financing and how we do the deals will capitalize that one, or even to the point of strategy, right? So in the short term, getting all the admin stuff set up. I'm not really focused. I'm not really concerned about the partnership piece here in the short term, but I do want to get after that. I think that's something that is important to me, and we can always explore it. And these are not necessarily in. Oh, hold on, that's my wife. Hey, Kens, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm live on YouTube. What's up?
Sorry.
You need something?
No.
Well, you know we're on Zoom, so you can always come over there. All right. Love you. Bye.
I'm still here.
Cool. Yeah, she'll be over here in a minute. Okay, so we're buy and hold $30,000 per month of passive income. The partnership thing, I'm going to move it to the bottom because I don't want it in the way right now. So what other things do we need to do? We want to buy and hold business, right? Or really it's just acquisitions, right? What other thing? This one is okay. This is actually one that needs to go. Oh, that can stay there, right? Create a structure with the support of lawyers, tax professionals, and accountants to remain compliant, protected, and aggressive. And this is again a structure. It's a structure one. It's a little bit further down. That will happen naturally. Some of the things that I already know will align us in that way because we're already there for the most part. Develop a system which assesses and compares REI portfolios based on returns on investment and returns on equity, and identifies worst performing assets which are okay, so this is an important piece, and this is really simple, and I just have to find a better way to say it. So the idea is this, that we should be able to look at our assets, right? So this is analysis, really. We should be able to look at our assets, our portfolio, and say, these give us this level of return based on how much it cost us. When we have things in the portfolio, there's another metric called return on equity. And so at a certain point, there is the property that's being paid down over 30 or 100 years or whatever the case is. At a certain point, there will be more equity than how much is owed. And at a certain point, it makes more sense to liquidate that property, to repurpose that equity, and turn it into a new property that has a better ROI. The ROI, the ROE will go down as time goes, and the ROI will also drop over time. And so once the ROE has reached a certain threshold, let's just say like 8% or lower, or whatever the threshold is, then what you want to do is say, okay, look, we have way too much equity in this deal. We need to go repurpose it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
it's something that's further down the line, right? At a certain point, if a deal has so much equity, right? If we have a property that has like your grandmother's house, right, or the house that we talked about has so much equity and it's not being used, you could literally take that money. Heard Kenzo Benzo, you in here?
That's Keyshawn.
Oh, Keyshawn's in here. Awesome. I didn't get a chance to admit him. What's going on, Keyshawn? Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, y'all.
We are live on YouTube, just so you know, Keyshawn. They should be able to hear you. They can't see you. Let me make sure that my audio is shared. Yep, audio is shared, so they can hear you, but they cannot see you. I can see you, though. I mean, I don't think you're up on the screen or anything right now. So, portfolio analysis. And the idea there is that I want to just make sure that we identify, like, what we have to do is we'll have to develop criteria that says, if we want this ROI, we want this level of ROI, which we'll get into in the strategy. And if we drop below this ROI, which is tied to this ROE, return on equity, then we need to liquidate this and move on, right? Here was another. So what actual action points do we need to do? We have the buy and hold, which is going to produce passive income. And then we can look at the assignments, the active income. I didn't mean to do that. We can look at the assignment piece and say, look, this is also what are the big long-term assignment goals? So now we're looking at 60,000 per month, which is it could be a number of things. It could be any type of deals. 60,000 a month. What's up?
Will we just double it?
Double it within a year?
Yeah.
I mean, we could try it, right? I think that if nothing else, let's say we double it, right? So in a year, can we double this number? And then the question is, what does that mean for us?
Yeah.
Right. It's just doubling our lead source. And really, I think that the way that we will get after that, the way that we will generate more income is by doing better marketing. So creating a strong marketing system to bring in more leads, to build better relations. So we would create a strong marketing system. And I'm just going to pop over to strategy for a second. Strong agent outreach, which we talked about, and we'll get to that. Wholesale assigner outreach. And well, we'll leave it to those two, right? Those two things are the way that we're really trying to get after these things. Okay, so in the buy and hold space, we're looking to produce passive income. In the assignment space, we're looking to produce active income. And coincidentally, each of these, well, these don't necessarily align in the same way, but I mean, we get after it. In this case, this 200 deals, well, this 200 properties, $200 a month profit is, in theory, it should be 150 deals, right? But yeah, this is 150. I think that's the reason why I put this in here, because it tells us how many we will have to do, or how many we might want to get after per month in order to achieve that goal. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. I'm actually going to put my headphones right.
You're good. Up to, so by acquiring, so up to 150. Stores. He's cash flowing a minimum of 200. There we go. All right. So produce $30,000 per month in passive income through buy and hold real estate investing in North Carolina by acquiring up to 150 doors, each cash flowing a minimum of $200 net profit. All right, portfolio analysis, develop a system which assesses, yep, got that one. Find better words. Put a note here. Gotta find better words. let's get GPT to actually put some thought to that. Rework with GPT. Reword with AI. Okay. So lead magnet. That's what this is. This is a lead magnet. It's so important that we develop these things, and I actually think that this needs to happen sooner than later, within this next year, within the immediacy. We need to publish a lead magnet. Lead magnet. Who's that? We have another guest. Benzo. Good morning. Hello. How are you?
Good morning.
Welcome. And say hi to everybody out there in YouTube. They can't see you, but they can hear you.
Hello.
Stupid ass. I love you. Hello. Yeah, we're working on the business plan. Actually, I think I was working in the wrong space. 100% with doing that. I need to close this other one. I need to close this. So let's do this. I'm just gonna copy this out. Short-term goals, less than 1 year. Long-term goals, 1 year plus. Control C. Long-term, short-term. Here we go. There we go. All right, and then I need to close this. I do need to pull that last thing. What did I put in here? Assignment and sign agent and assigner, and then we'll close it. Oh, in the strategy was this. Okay. Hey Ken, do you Keyshawn, you guys missed some heavy work last night. Me and Earl put in. We created a brand new, it was crazy, and I haven't seen it yet. And I mean, this will probably be the first time we talk about it, but my following ain't big enough, so I ain't stressed out about it. We developed a new approach. We coined a style of creative finance, and we're calling it the Perry method. And in short, what we're going to look to do, we're going to do some research on it. We're going to see if we can it's tied into wholesaler or signer outreach, right? And in short, it's finding wholesalers who have deals but no good dispo systems. And since we have built a better disposition system for offloading deals, kind of like the Keegley model with astro flipping, but instead of just profit sharing with them, what we would do is we would give them a seller finance note for their assignment. And so in a deal where the wholesaler was going to make 10 grand or 15 grand, I think that's the threshold we were looking at. In the deal where the wholesaler was looking at a 15 grand assignment, but they got to wait to close and all these other things. What we would do is we would bring in a partner who would give them 5 grand now. We take the other 10 grand cash, and then they get a seller finance note for more than whatever money they gave up. So in this case, they gave us 10 grand to just get out of it immediately. So we would be able to give them a 15 grand seller finance note. So altogether, they would make 20 grand. They would start building passive income so that their income isn't tied to them generating deals. Does that make sense?
So I guess my understanding is like they're getting, I think you said they're getting 10 on their part. They're going to get 5 up front, but then on the back end, once I guess whoever happens with the deal, whether it's I guess Renault and sale or fix and flip, whatever, then they'll get that after the full deals went through. Is that?
So it wouldn't be after the whole deal is completed. It would be immediately upon closing, right? Not necessarily when the flip Renault is done. As soon as it closes, just like with the seller finance note, where I would say, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm going to buy your property and I'll pay you $100 a month from here until I pay out your 10 grand. We would do that with the seller. We can get into it. It's super interesting. And the point behind it being that, one, we haven't seen that. When we've kind of talked about it, I've literally recommended it to a number of people. Like, why don't you just ask the wholesaler to finance his commission or his assignment, right?
Exactly.
I've had that conversation a number of times, but I've never gotten it back from anyone. And then Earl actually talked to one of the buyers that we're working with earlier today, and he's like, "Yeah, I would totally do that." Yeah, Steve Valet, shout out Steve when you get this. Thanks for being a little bit of a validation in that system. We'll talk more about it. We actually have a a handy dandy chart that we went through yesterday, which kind of outlines the difference between like the regular micro flipping model, where instead of the seller getting 10 grand cash because they're trying to go straight to a buyer, if they don't have a buyer, what might make sense for them is to split the proceeds for us and with us, and essentially JV, where we get 5 grand, they get 5 grand, and then the buyer gets the same contract price either way. The difference there is that we have a better dispo system than the wholesaler might have, right? Especially if they're new. So that's part of the wholesale outreach model. It's the astrofit flipping JV model. With the Perry method, the model changes where the buyer is still going to get a 125K contract, or maybe even less if we can swing it that way. But what we will look at inside of there is building in a note that will go to the wholesaler. And of course, the numbers have to make sense, but that seller finance note, the seller finance note would make the wholesaler whole, and it would allow us to extract some of the value from the cash that they were going to get received from the buyer. It's really interesting, and in practice and theory, hypothetically anyway, and he did talk to at least one person about it. We got to make some content about it and see if it even makes sense in a number of other views. But in practice, what it allows us to do is it allows us to turn every wholesale deal into a potential terms deal. Even if the seller wants cash, the wholesale deal is to the wholesale. The terms deal is with the wholesaler, not the actual seller. Super fucking interesting. Super interesting. So we'll explore more of that. I know that probably sounds like gibberish, and it sounds like gibberish a bit right now, but we'll get to it. It was a good breakthrough. It was good. All right. So strategy. So we talked about, what else am I missing? So long term, zoom back in, and zoom back in. I think I shared the wrong one with you. That's my bad. Let me share this with you.
Me or Keyshawn?
Yeah. I think I shared. No, I was talking to you. I think I shared the other one, not the GPT one. And this is the one that we need to be. And I'm dropping in the chat right now.
Oh, okay. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna close the other one because I don't want to keep being in there. And I need you to not just be a viewer. If you have the link, to be an editor. Cool. Done. All right. Yeah,
I'm actually on Liz's laptop right now, but I'm still at elevator.
Okay, yeah, you're good. Yeah, you should still have. I just made it so that anybody with the link should be able to be an editor. So if you click the one that I just dropped, then you should be able to get in there. Okay. So in a year, we're looking at having an assignments machine. We're looking at buy and hold. We want to be able to have portfolio analysis, right? So it's really a portfolio adjustments.
Did you also say about the assignments fee? It still be a lot more than that, or realistically, you want to scale?
Yeah, it's up
larger
here.
Than that.
Yeah, so it's doubled from what it is in less than a year, right? So
okay.
Yeah, it's right there. I put it up front, and in fact, I'll make sure that it's in the same order. Oh, maybe I didn't. What the heck? Oh no, there it is. Assignments. All right, so reduce the thing. The thing that I just put up here in the short-term space is lead magnets, right? So we're talking about $100 million, $100 million offers, $100 million leads, right? So we need to have a lead magnet, and then we also, within the next year, we need to have Grand Slam offer. This is like yep. And maybe we have our core offer drafted out already, but the Grand Slam offer, what are we actually offering? That's the discussion.
And I think we really hit it home yesterday. it's really a value proposition.
For sure. So we were talking about what we looked at with the Grand Slam offer
Yeah.
was kind of some of these things that we're looking at. Well, let's go back. Who are we talking to? We go. Let's start with that.
Wholesalers and agents.
Right. So the Grand Slam offer, we provide. So what do we want to do? We want to provide. So there's 2 Grand Slam offers, I guess, if you want to get weird.
Exactly. That's my point. So it's going to have to be one for the agent and then the wholesaler.
Yeah. Cool. Wholesalers. Cool. So agents. Well, I think the wholesalers is probably the first one. Provide fast. What are we doing for wholesalers? We provide fast, reliable. Words can't word. We want to provide fast, reliable disposition. So fast, reliable, transparent disposition.
Yep.
For new and experienced wholesalers to get paid quickly and net more. Get paid upfront. It's not even just quickly. What we want to get to is we want to get them paid upfront.
Or should we just say passive income?
Oh, so I think it's all 3, right? We want them to get paid upfront, net more,
and generate passive,
and build passive income from active active work. Yeah, because that's the cornerstone for everybody out there. That's really the cornerstone of what we were talking about, right? That wholesaler activity is active income, and it's a rat race. And so for these people who are out here doing 50, 60 deals a year, it may make the most sense for them to just begin to turn a piece of that into passive income. And so suddenly they begin to have ownership in properties, or they begin to have assets where they have liens that they have out in the world. They begin to have, when I say assets, it doesn't necessarily mean that they own the property, but they have an asset because debt that pays you is an asset. On the bank for your credit cards, when they see Paris Capers owes $10,000 on their statement, that's an asset. It pays them. It's a performing note. And so what this does is it allows these wholesalers who are performing they were doing active work to generate income. They're getting taxed on these active rates. They can begin to generate passive income. And so in that instance, if somehow that wholesaler generates $100 per deal passively, right? If they generate $100 per deal passively, and let's say they got to do, they want to get to 10,000. Oh, let's just say $5,000 a month. If they do 50 deals, they have generated $5,000 a month in passive income, and it'll continue to expand. If it's only $10,000, it comes out to like 8.3 years is what we looked at, right? $10,000 divided by 100 equals 100 payments divided by 12 is 8.333. So that's it's 8 years and 4 months, I think we said it was. So by doing one deal, that person guarantees themselves $100 a month for 8 years and 4 months. And so if they do 10 deals a year, they're adding $1,000 a month, and I think it'll add up really quick, right? Like I just think that if they do one deal a year, if they do one deal a month, I think it can become astronomical. And I think that's a case study here, right? Like if you did 10 deals, if you did one deal a month and that's all you did, and you sold them to us by the end of 5-10 years, or by the end of this 8-year period, you will have collected X $1,000 up front, and you will have generated this much income, right? And we can kind of explore like what that offer actually looks like in the Hormozy method. But we provide fast, reliable, just transparent disposition for new and experienced wholesalers to get paid up front, net more from deals, and build passive income from traditionally active work. I mean, again, I think that what we can do is just turn this into something that's like, that's going to resonate with that audience, like get out of the rat race or something like that. We can rework that with AI. Right. So what are we doing for agents? We are providing, oh, didn't mean to do that. We're providing education, resources, and options for education, resources, and options related to creative finance, specifically how clients to help clients net more with less weight and more certainty. Net more money from deals. So we provided the Grand Slam offers for agents is that we provide education, resources, and options related to creative finance that help clients net more money from sales with less weight and more certainty. So we're focused. We're
and
teaching.
this is the piece you're focusing on with Mac, correct?
What's that?
And this is the piece that you're focusing on with Mac, pretty much.
Yeah. So what this one is so let me see. This conversation is, yes. So it's actually 3-pronged, and we can kind of talk about it because, like I said, it doesn't really. I don't think that it's limited. So with Mac, what I'm looking at with Mac is I'm looking at a realty group and an agent team that understands both paths, the traditional real estate route, as well as the wholesaler assignment investor route, usually the cash offers, right? In that space, though, of course, we understand creative terms and things like that. And so we can, terms, just and from my perspective, bridges the gap between that old school cash offer, and I would say terms is also old school to a degree, but there's less people that understand it. That old school cash offer and the traditional offers that we're putting forward. And so the idea of the group that Mac is proposing is that when we would have a traditional realty structure where people can find and come and discuss with us and say, hey, I want to sell my house. What are my full options? Because the traditional realtors are not able, they don't have the knowledge and understanding to provide the background and options that we can provide as sub 2 and terms investors. They also, truthfully, in most cases, don't really understand the systems and processes that wholesalers are using. And so they don't trust the clients, nor the agents trust the wholesalers in many cases. They don't trust them to give them the information for a whole host of reasons. But what we're doing is we're positioning ourselves with the credibility of a licensed agent who ideally keeps my license, right? I am also an investor because I've done these things and this is the world that I live in. And I also, not only can I give you a cash offer, but I also understand terms and I can make a deal for you. The goal being that we become the preeminent entity. And this is, I would say that to a degree, the two ideas of these two businesses that we're talking about, the one that we're making now and the Investor Realty Group, they are similar, but we are really focusing. I don't even want my idea here is that I don't even want to have a broker of record in this business because I don't want to be an agent for the business that we're building. This business does not necessarily need an agent. What we can do though, and we can still convert them into leads. They still convert. If a client says, I don't want to sell cash and I don't want to sell terms, I just want to list, the conversation for us, and we'll have to put that into the structure here, is cool. I will take that lead and I can go give that lead to another brokerage and say, hey, I'm going to give you this lead. They want to sell traditionally. Give us 25%, right? Give me 25%. And then what we can do from there is profit share. Have to double check on some of the rules inside of there because it's a little bit different. What I don't want to do, I mean, I can, it's not really that big of a deal. I just have to make sure everybody's on the same page. What I don't want to do really is I don't want to do any agent work within this business because that's just not where I want to be, right? Other than referrals, I don't want to do it. What we may have to do eventually, like submitting offers, doing showings and shit like that. I don't want to do that work. That work takes too much time, and the cost per hour, the time cost and the dollar per hour value is so low compared to where I want to be that I don't do that work. Right. That's why I don't do offers and shit like that. I don't want to deal with that. Not that I don't want to help people, but what I would rather do is instead of, like we talked about before, instead of being a fisherman, I would go to the fish market to the people who are doing those things. And so if Max System or even my own team at Coast to Coast Real Estate Connections, if the team is handling traditional sales, what I would rather do is have a system that is a really good marketing system that says, hey, agents, bring me your deals. You need help? Come to us and we can structure deals for you. Hey, wholesalers, you want to get these things sold? Come to us and we'll dispo them because we have buyers. Hey, clients, if you need help and you don't trust anyone else, look at how much capacity we have. And we won't do it, but we also are tied into the agents who are doing it. And so if you're working in Missouri, hey, perfect. I have agents in Missouri that I can direct you to as a referral. If you're working in North Carolina over in the coast, okay, perfect. I have agents in North Carolina on the coast that I can direct you to that I can help you buy or sell, whatever the case is. And so it's just, that's the structure. I have no intent or desire to do traditional agent things. It's just not within my scope and not within my vision. Not that it changes anything here, right? So the Grand Slam offer, and so really I think that it might be three things, but at the very least it's two things: agents and wholesalers. There may be a machine, a very simple function to say, hey, if you're a client, come on through and we'll connect you. But I don't even want to get tangled into that right now. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So Grand Slam offer for agents. We will provide education, resources, and options. And so now this is passive. So let me work this. We provide creative finance, education, and resources and options to help clients. Much stronger sentences. We provide creative finance, education, resources, and options to help clients net more money from sales with less weight and more certainty. Maybe even, let's get it even cleaner. We provide creative finance, education, resources, and options to help agents close more sales.
Fine, right? Oh.
What's up?
No, Lee, start.
Get net clients more money. And net clients more money with less weight and more certainty. So we provide creative financial education, resources, and options to help agents close more sales and net clients more money. And get clients more certainty, more money with less weight.
Or it
Yeah,
could
just
also be
take out.
focused toward. No, I was going to say it could be also focused towards the agents who are having trouble selling the deal or the leads that they have.
That's fair because we are looking at targeting. That's fair. Also, so
I
this
think
is
you'll go
for
back to the days on market. How many days on market it's been? But no, you can continue. Go ahead.
yeah. I think that your point is valid, and I think that what we're going to get into is the strategy, right? I think that what is the pain point? The pain point. Who are we talking to? We're talking to one of two people, and I think they overlap. In the agent category, the people that we're talking to are agents who want to close more sales, right? They already have deals.
Yeah.
Well, so two different people. People who already have deals that are not selling. That's 90 plus days on market or whatever the case is. They're a person. And the other people are people who hypothetically want to close more deals because they have better options. And so that's coming into a listing. So what's the thought process? My thought process is the best success story, and I think we will eventually get into like the vision or really getting down here to the strategy, is that the best success story here is that we build. What is the success story for an agent for us? The success story for an agent for us is that we build a system that where agents that partner with us know going into their listing agreements when they bring in a client. It's like Investor Realty Group, right? Agents going into business with us and partnering with us know how they can help their clients sell. And so they will bring us more deals, and they know that they're going to close them. If they already have a deal, it's a rescue plan where, hey, look, we thought this was going to sell. It didn't. My thought process there is that you don't even have to. No property should make it to 90 days because they're already calling us at 30. Like 30 days in, they're like, look, this didn't sell as quickly as I wanted to. I want to keep our agent partners days on market below 30 days. No agent who partners with us should have a deal that sits longer than 30 days. As soon as they come into the listing with the seller, they should be saying, hey, look, here's options. You have option cash, you have option terms, you have option retail. We can run option retail while we look for cash and terms. I know somebody who can go find you cash and terms. And so while I list it, I will give me permission as an agent to also go find you assignment and terms and assignment deal.
Yeah.
And I want that conversation to be had up front. And I want to give them the tools and lessons to say, look, here's how you should run your. I literally will make this right, and it's a two-pronged attack because I think that one, for things that we own, I want to own this and I want to give it to people. I will license it to other businesses, or maybe I'll just make it free, right? It's a lead magnet. I probably could do both. Say, look, if you're a wholesaling team, here's something you could do. Take this tool. It's on YouTube. Maybe they don't follow me on YouTube. Okay, then you got to fucking pay for it. It's on YouTube. Go get it for free. And when you go get those deals, bring them back to us.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Give me a second. I got to grab some water. Your boy is thirsty. Your boy has thirst.
The boy keeps it down. Baby, man. My baby.
Your boy has thirst.
Mhm.
Keyshawn, you over there dialing or what? Who this? Oh, Keyshawn came in double time? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
You dialing?
What's that?
Was just asking if you dialing.
Oh, now I'm headed to this meeting with this investor. Actually invest in multifamily, but I don't know if it's going to be about that or some other stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this your first meeting? And you already have like a buy box or what?
No, I met him before. Actually, he works at Netflix, and then his wife does real estate. So they do fix and flips, stuff like that. This will be my first time meeting him in like almost a year. So it's really just more of a catch up and yeah, I guess getting an update on his buy box and stuff like that. Try to make sure the relationship is still good.
I love that. Okay. I love that. I love that. I love that. Now that you make me think about it. We got to build into a partner plan in here. No. Hopefully it goes well, man. I can't wait to hear more about it.
Yeah. Damn. On the wrong side.
Okay, I don't want this to be a whole header. That's a problem. I can fix it though. It's normal text. That's what it is. Did I have an immediate goals? Oh yeah, that's it. That's what it was. Okay. It's immediate. That should be normal text. I don't know why it's showing up like that. That's weird. What the freak? Is it this one? Why is that? Okay, there we go. Immediate, short term, and long term. Header one. That makes sense. Or I fucked it up again. Heading, adopt text strategy. Control V. Paste that. I gotta cut my grass, man. That's not supposed to be like that. Heading 2 is heading 2, heading 2, heading 2. Proxima 14 green. That should already be in there. Okay, that's weird. Oh shit. Up to heading 2 to match. So this should be long-term heading 2. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got it figured out, I guess. Cool. All right. So immediate strategy, key performance indicators, market criteria, our criteria. So there's two sets of criteria. There's the purchase criteria. And then there's the assignment criteria. Buy and hold criteria. Portfolio, let's call it portfolio. Portfolio criteria. Okay, so we already talked about the categories within our criteria, and I think that it may be mirrored to some degree, but we can explore that. Right. The idea here is that we need to understand what we're actually assigning. Well, let me back up. Maybe even take the strategy piece and go down here at the end. So I think it's after all these other criteria. KPIs needs to come down here. Maybe not even in there. Okay, so the market. What markets are we operating in? I think that we do want to get some specificity. Markets.
So definitely, and we're going by cities, correct?
Yeah, so we talked about let's before we even get into what specific markets, we're talking about population, because I think that when we look at the criteria for what is a good market, that's what determines where we actually will look and where we will not look, right? And so
Correct.
we are looking for high population, right? And we got to figure out what high means.
Yeah.
I think there's already some thresholds that are outlined in the sub 2 community, but we can explore what that means. So we're looking at high population. I think that it would make sense we want to have something near an entertainment center. All right.
So definitely Miami.
For sure. Here's Pace's structure, right? He's looking at a high population, so a major metro, near entertainment centers, within near international
Airport. Okay.
airport.
That makes sense.
Or I think that the discussion there is that the airport makes the most sense to me. Maybe even international ports, seaports, right? It's something that I'm not convinced about. I know the airports works, and that makes perfect sense. I don't know if seaports works. My thought process is that if a city is a port city, it may have insulation against certain types of depression and job loss. So really just providing a variety of services. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. I'm just thinking like, okay,
No, it just
these
depends.
people,
It depends on the
yeah.
city. Like Louisiana, like from that perspective, or I would say just during Louisiana's economy compared to like Florida's economy, or let me be specific, New Orleans economy compared to like Miami economy is a lot different. I don't know. Is there a port in New Orleans, or am I tripping? Wherever the port is in Louisiana, during COVID, they weren't getting much activity because there was no more cruises. No, but
Yeah,
Miami,
there is a port in New Orleans. It's along the Mississippi
exactly.
River. I don't even know if it's operational.
No, then okay, see, well, it's cruise lines. Anyways, I just mean from that perspective, in Miami, since
that's one of the things I was thinking
still
about.
Booming. Yeah.
My thought is this, right? Imagine for a moment, and maybe this is expanding into the vision, because I think that in the big picture, maybe it's a different business. Maybe it's a future vision of this business. But my thought process is, if we were looking at these criteria, right? The criteria we're saying, okay, we want major metros, near entertainment center, with some sort of district, near international transportation. We're really getting down into what we're talking about, right? Even further, when I say near, I would say within 60 minutes, right? Within 1 hour of those things, to be more specific. But my thought is, okay, what about buying in other countries, right? What are the transportation centers or the vacation centers of the world, right? I know a girl who lives in
Republic.
Yeah, no shit, right? Punta Cana. She lives in Punta Cana. She's an international real estate agent in Punta Cana.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of sub-2 folks over there. And honestly, I'm gonna be dead ass with you, right? The next time sub-2 goes to Puerto Rico or Punta Cana, one of these places, bro.
There you going.
I'm going. We're going. We gotta go. I cannot live like this no more.
The funny
Shout
thing
out.
is,
What's
the
up?
funny thing is, my parents were talking about moving to the Dominican Republic because our contractor who fixed up our house said it's cheap to live over there.
It's hella cheap to live over there. It's super funny, right? Because you know, it's a completely different world, bro. You're talking about like a different caliber of real estate at a lower cost to entry. And so if you decided to live at the same standard that you're talking about, you can live at the same standard for lower cost. And so imagine if you use the same expenses, you're living in literal mansions. Like it's bonkers. And so obviously the discussion is like finding the right place and a trustworthy blah 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 blah, all those good things. My thought though is that if we start having the conversation one day, hopefully soon, if we have the conversation of where in the world do we want to be? Oh shit, I didn't expect this to get so cinematic. Can you guys see my screen still?
Yeah, I can see it.
Me? Yeah, we can.
Yeah. I didn't mean for everybody to get so cinematic here. If we start asking our questions like where in the world do you want to be? I'm thinking like population centers that people want to go to, right? Maybe we're talking about buying property in France or in Portugal, right? Lisbon. This is us. This is me thinking like, you know, with my military background, there are tons of service centers around certain military installations and military operations that are desperate for opportunities. That service members are desperate for opportunities in, right? When I went around the world, there were times where I got liberty, like when I was in, where the hell were we? I don't even know what the map looked like. It was in Norway. And then I was in Portugal one time, and then I was in Middle East and UAE. There's times where I had opportunities to go out on liberty, and it's like, man, I wish I had some place to go. There's times where I was over in Malaysia, right? Wherever we are over here in the world. Over in Korea, right? There's a lot of opportunity where we could create that value in other places. Maybe this is wishful thinking, but I think that one of the things that we'll have to get into at some point is the vivid vision of what do we actually want to do? You know what I mean? What is the big picture? What is our international plan? What is our long-term plan so that we can build out? Right now, obviously, we're focused on immediate and short-term. That long-term goal list should be fairly robust. I think that having robust long-term goals really sets you up to build a running machine that has to be able to do things because you've got goals. And it's not just like, let's just run and feed ourselves right now because we're starving. Like, no, the machine has to be built with purpose to go do other things. So markets. Our markets, right? So we want major metro areas. We want something within 1 hour of entertainment centers, right? And so we're talking about stadiums. Arenas. What else?
Golf courses.
Ooh, for like vacation and shit. Oh yeah.
No, for actual PGA tournament.
Okay. I'm gonna put courses. Because I think that there's multiple different. Oh, okay. So not just courses. You're talking about you're talking about PGA. How would I put this?
I mean, I think it's the same thing with the sports arenas. Like in Charlotte, there's the Cool Hollow, and that's the annual PGA tournament that comes over here.
Maybe instead of saying a stadium, sports venues.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Entertainment centers and sports venues. Does that make sense? I think that encompasses.
You could put entertainment center, I think stadium and arenas and sports venues. I think that's fine.
I think you're right. I think I want to, yeah. Entertainment centers. Because I think like if I think Vegas isn't necessarily a arena stadium, but it is an entertainment center.
Exactly. And I'm also thinking of college, like sports as
That's
well.
fair. That's fair. So our markets. And we'll figure out the words that come from this. But what we can do is tell ChatGPT what we want here, and then have it fucking do the thing, right?
You're so fucking right. Yeah.
We want
Actually, I need to
major
get on my
metro
laptop.
area. Let's call it. I think it's like 400,000 people is one of the threshold. Increasing population. Oh shit! My boy hit 100,000 followers. That's crazy. Growing population. We might want maybe even an income, median income at or above national average. Or do we want, does it even matter?
I don't
Maybe
think
it
that
doesn't.
matters.
I don't think it does. You're right. Within 1 hour of entertainment centers, arenas, stadiums, and sport venues, within 1 hour of maybe it's not even an hour, maybe it's like 60 miles, right? Within 60 miles.
That's too far.
60 miles too far?
Yes.
What about 45?
Actually,
I'm thinking a mile a minute, right? 60 miles an hour is many of the the highway and international and interstate high speeds. And so if I'm in, so my thought is, I mean, let's just snapshot it, right? If I'm thinking Raleigh, right? If I go to Raleigh,
45 minutes is like an hour away. So 45 miles like an hour away in Miami.
right. And
Going
that's
to, like, West Palm Beach.
so maybe 45 minutes. And I think that we're gonna have to scrutinize it. I think that the answer is 45 minutes. 45 miles is about an hour, right? Would you agree in that space?
I
Like in
think
general,
that really just depends. I think it depends, but yeah, in general, yeah, you can say that. Unless if you're not on the highway, 45 minutes or 45 miles is an hour.
right? Yeah. And even further, right? It's like the reason I'm putting this is here's my thought process, right? I was actually looking at a property that's over here in Wilson, for example. Wilson is 45 minutes from Greenville and just over an hour from Raleigh. If you look at the miles, it's about 50 miles and it's about an hour, right? So my thought process is, and just looking at it, there are people who want to be in Raleigh, who will live and work in Raleigh, and they will live anywhere within a 60-mile radius around Raleigh, which includes Durham. And then to a degree, not less so, includes Fayetteville. And it's also validated by, this is really interesting, right? We were looking at this the other day, when I look at Privy, I don't know why I did that. That was weird. When I look at Privy, I can also scrutinize where the actual people are moving in terms of the general spread of persons, right? So most people in Raleigh, most activity in Raleigh is down to the south. If I look up toward, let me clear my thing. Where is it?
Left.
Maybe
leave
getting,
or my bad.
no, you're good. So just looking at this one, looking at this one, Wilson is 60 miles from Raleigh. but so I'm looking at it, Wilson is a candidate to be a secondary market. You have Zebulon here or Acres or whatever this little town is, but nobody's actually moving there. There's not actually really any activity there. And so my thought is I want to be able to capture satellite towns and cities like this. And my thought process is it's no more than 60 minutes because it's 60 miles or 60 minutes, whether that's by miles or that's by minutes, whatever the case is. I think that in general, if we apply that rule, we'll be able to catch things like this, right? And so what we would in theory be able to do is say, okay, check it out. If we're talking about Raleigh, what are the 3 submarkets that we will buy in Raleigh, or the 2 submarkets that we were buying in Raleigh? If we're talking about Charlotte, what are the 2 submarkets that we were buying in Charlotte, or the 3 submarkets that we're buying in Charlotte? And get to that level of scrutiny. Maybe the county answer is the answer. But
I think the county is better.
You think the county is better? Because the county probably covers. So I think that it might work because it does both things. I think that the county may work because the county probably, reasonably speaking, isn't greater than 60 miles across, right?
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
I definitely know what you're saying.
I mean, I don't know. Let me see something real quick. If I just hypothetical, if I say Onslow County, how big is Onslow? That did not work the way I wanted it to work. Miami-Dade. Okay. All right, if I pull that bad boy up in the maps. So what is that? So the entire county might be like 30 miles from end to end. The entirety of this county, right? Or like, what about like even in a bigger state like California, right? Where we have like Riverside County or okay, so this one's a little bit different, but this one's like 246. This one's weird because it's definitely kind of gerrymandered. This is like 80 miles wide. But then again, the conversation there is if there was a population center in there, if we said no more than 60 miles away, then that would still fit the bill as I imagine it. And so I think that it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when you go by cities, or if we're thinking about doing like 45 miles outside or 60 miles outside of a city, or from the arenas, an hour to drive all the way down. Like I'm just imagining myself driving from West Palm Beach all the way down to Miami to go to a Heat game. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to do it if I was a local, but if I was visiting that area, I don't think I would do that. But I guess I'm just thinking from like because we're talking about entertainment centers and sports arenas. I'm thinking of like people traveling to those cities versus people who are actually citizens of those or residents of those cities.
I think that's a fair point. I think what we'll have to really scrutinize is whether or not I think that's the distinction, because we're looking at 2 different things. I think that our assignment criteria is more than likely, to a degree, biased towards visitors.
Yeah.
My portfolio, in my mind, in my heart, is biased towards residents. And maybe that's not true, right? Because there might be some in both. But I think that if for my risk tolerance, although visitors might have more money, I look at the long view of saying I want people to be using this house forever. I want long-term value tenants that will take care of my things, that I can give a fair rate to, and my pay down is amazing because it's constantly rented.
No, that makes sense. Before we go off the deep end, let's go slightly back. We don't have to think about it in a way of even though we want to be around the entertainment, there's smart venues. We don't have to think about it from myself. I don't have to think about it from a short-term rental perspective. We're just saying those are major because of those facilities are in those cities. They hold some type of value, and people come and travel
Right.
to that city, so the economy is able to generate income.
Right,
So
right.
that just
And
validates it being
that's
there.
a very good point, right? Because I think that it's not necessarily, I think that it's that point that exactly that it's the value that the community applies to those places and people might want to live there. So yeah, there's an opportunity for visitors to come and pay that shit. But like I would go live in fucking Seattle because it's fucking hella artsy and I like that shit and I want my kids to grow up artsy. My only issue is that I don't want them to be super liberal, but that's a different conversation, you know what I mean? Um
Yeah, I hear you.
so yeah, I mean there's a ton of things up there because there's a reason that I would move there and a lot of it has to do with the entertainment aspect, right? The entertainment and the arts. What the heck? Oh, fucking LT Molina. Give me 1 second, bro. I gotta take this call. I haven't heard from this man in
All
about
right, go ahead.
25 years. Yellow. What's going on, Tony? How are you? Oh, I'm good, brother. I'm actually live on YouTube right now. I'm on a Zoom with my gang. What's poppin'? No, man. I was just telling my boy Earl. I was like, dude, I haven't heard from Tony in like 25 years. Dude, we fucking murdered those ants. I'll never forget. I've got PTSD, my guy. Yeah. I had it grown out. I had it grown out better, and then I had to shave it because I got bit. We went on vacation. I got bit on the face by some bug, and then I got a patch because the bug it was weird. So I shaved it, and now I'm growing it back out now. But yeah, I'm getting there, man. I'm trying to be one of those bearded vets. You know how it goes. Yeah. I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I'm definitely trying to exfoliate and all that good stuff. What are you up to, man? What are you doing today? Oh my goodness! Congratulations, my guy. There's no. Oh, that's a big boy. That boy, 10 pounds. God dog, you don't have a baby. You got a bowling ball, man. Yeah, that man needs to pay taxes. God dang, he needs employment immediately.
No, not give you no kitty. Bye, baby. See y'all later.
Oh yes. Ooh, I told you. You were attraction.
I just need some bread.
Atomic habits. Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just gotta pick up the pace a little bit, but you're on track. Dude, I need to come out there and visit. Is down in Jacksonville, right? Mm-hmm. That's fair. Oh, I like that, dude. Drop me the link so I can plug you to the gang. I'll even scrutinize your funnel and we can make it even better. Give me your link. You can text it to me, and then I'll drop it in my I'll drop it on the link tree. Just send me all your socials and stuff, and then I'll plug you because I'm that guy. I love it. I'm also addicted to caffeine, and so if you want to be my caffeine supplier, we'll do the thing. We'll just talk about it all the time. I'm good, man. Do you know I'm live on Zoom every day, right? Yes. Yeah. So I am so that's a very good point, and I appreciate that feedback because that tells me a lot based on my own habits. But what I mean is that myself and some of the other fantastic folks that I'm kicking it with right now are on Zoom. I host office hours. So while I'm not always live on Facebook, and so you won't get a notification, what I am, and 9 times out of 10, is I am on Zoom. Right now, we're actually going through business plans for a new real estate investing startup that it's a partnership between myself and a couple of folks. We're literally going through and building the business plan, going through the strategy and all the other components of that right now, like live on YouTube. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I'll drop you the link. It's an open invite, right? Because we do more than just these things. It's a lot of it's real estate focused, and then sometimes we're just kind of messing around. We call it the squad dial / office hours. It's kind of made up. It's all made up, brother. But yeah, I will drop you the link. I'll drop you the link so that you have access to it. You can just come on in. It's free invitation. The only thing that I know is that because I do go live each day from 11 to 1, or at least I plan to, you might end up in the recordings. And then other than that, I am from time to time recording because we'll stream to YouTube or whatever the case is. And so a lot of it is really just for public documentation. And also, it's part of the marketing funnel, not to go too deep into the weeds on the business thing here, but it's been pretty valuable so far with networking and building the brand, et cetera, et cetera. And I'd love to have you here, man. Especially, I love that you guys moved from the brick and mortar shop. I'm pretty sure we talked about the brick and mortar aspect when you proposed it. And so it makes me laugh. I'm like, hell yeah, I know what I'm talking about sometimes, maybe, but I love that you did it, dude. I love that hard action, man. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, like the biggest point that when I first
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. Is that the thing? I don't think I've ever actually had a real cold brew. But no, that's good to know. Yeah, I was looking, how every vet is like, I'm gonna start a coffee company. And I was like, I don't think I want to start a coffee company. But if you have a coffee company, I would rather just, link up with you and just enjoy those beans. Dude, let me drop this link right now. Just come to the Zoom. What are you doing? You just driving around with that boy trying to put him to sleep or what? Mhm. Vroom, vroom, my boy. I love it, dude. I love that. That boy out there driving around with a bowling ball. That boy. Yeah, yeah. I live in Sneeds Ferry, man. Yeah, yeah. So I start at about 8:30 every day, give or take, depending on who you ask. If you ask Earl, he's gonna say I'm never here on time, but I've been pretty good the last couple of days. Um, and so I start the Zoom at 8:30. I go live on Facebook at about 11. The 1 is the plan. And then even though we're not live anymore, we're on Zoom like all day. So I'm on Zoom until like 4 or 5 o'clock. And then I have some personal development blocks, and then we get back on in the evening at about 8. And so like me and Earl, because the guy's a maniac, we've been on here till like 11, 12 o'clock, 12:30, pretty much every night this week, just putting some stuff together.
gotcha. And then,
Yeah, all good, man. No obligations. It is an open invite. We have a bunch of folks that come in and they participate as they can. I love to hear insight from other folks. And then we have people that just pop in as flies on the wall, just kind of get some of the experience and see what we're about. And they'll just pop in from the time to time. Different people doing different things. And really just having an opportunity to have like a virtual meeting space with like people of like mind. We should probably call this, we should probably figure out a good name for this. Um, maybe like the Build-A-Bird group or something like that.
Hell no.
This one is not Gutty Talks money. This one's not, but I don't know. We'll figure something out. Yeah, man. For sure, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I am full time fucking around and finding out. So we'll make some time getting together. All right. All right, brother. You have a great day. Out. Oh, Tony Tone. He's a good dude, man. Me and him killed like 8 million ants together one day. It was crazy. Goddamn massacre. The tragedy. It was a tragedy. Story for another time. Okay. Sorry, I got sidetracked there, man. I just haven't heard for that guy in a hot minute. Glad he's good. Okay, so we're looking for counties with major metro areas, major metros, populations of 400,000 plus, growing population with growing populations within 60 miles of entertainment centers, arenas, stadiums, and sport venues, within 60 miles of international transportation. Right.
How many miles?
It's 60. So still thinking about that hour. And I recognize that is the upper limit, right? I think that we will obviously prioritize things closer. But what I want to do is say, hey, here's my circle. And if I put this on the map, in theory, anything inside of this space could be a possible. Anything inside of this circle is a prospect.
Makes sense.
So I'm gonna highlight this space. Let's get GPT to spit out 5 markets. Maybe just 2. Maybe 3. What'd you say?
I said, give me a second. I'm sauteing some onions.
Oh, you good. You good. Hmm. Okay. I'll be right back.
All right.
All right. What's it? Slide. Use that a little bit of purple. Okay. What we at? How much we got left in the block? About 30 minutes left. That's pretty interesting. Bum, 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 bum. Well, ask GPT to spit out 3 available markets. Wow. Ask GPT to find markets that meet these criteria. And then to explain other reasons why these particular markets might be good. Are the current markets due to so originally what I had written in here was I was targeting Philadelphia and specific parts in Philadelphia because where I live there was a lot of dilapidated houses and abandoned lots and things like that. And so it made sense because there was a lot of opportunity to add value. The note being that I wanted to return value to the communities to increase the tax base. Obviously, it's not necessarily what we're operating under. I do want to return to the charity component, but it has to make money before it can give money.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I'm gonna make this red because that may not be true. I put a note here to ask GPT to identify those markets and then find out and give us other reasons why those markets might be good.
Yeah.
And any
Let me
other
see.
reasons it might be good. There might be some things that there's some insights that GPT may know that we can leverage. Oh, I can't see that at all. Can't put that, man. I'll just highlight it. Additionally, there's an opportunity to develop community partnerships, seeing for upward trends and investment area. Oh, I think that also is true. The ideal property type is okay. So here we go. The ideal property. Cool. And so something else to note within there is, so we said our ideal property type is, and what I had here is small multifamily properties consisting of 2 to 4 units in low to mid income areas. Key players in the area. So I think that this will be for each market, right? So like market 1 is X. What's the ideal property type in there? Maybe that's how we ask GPT. Once it tells you these things, you can ask it more questions about like what the ideal property type might be in there. And we will have to do some research, or somebody will have to do research, if we can't leverage it, into what values each of these are. I don't think that they all will look exactly the same, but I think that if we focus on the criteria, we'll be able to say, look, this market is great for the multifamily properties. This other market is great for the single family properties of this type. And then even further, the key players in the area in the investing space are, maybe there's like Keighley, right? Keighley, Charlotte. right? X, Y, and Z, or whatever the case is. So different components of that. So
Yeah.
key players are this. We don't even necessarily have to define it. And we can leave that out. And then key players in the area include that other piece there. All right, boom, two different things.
All right. Whenever you're ready, I can put it in chat.
Yeah. You should be able to.
Um,
You could just take that top chunk out and just start picking at it and give it a shot. I'm just gonna keep rolling from there. I think that gives me what I needed to in there. I think this can come out. Target markets. Assignment criteria. So the assignment criteria. Within those markets. Then target markets. We will assign some properties will be assigned and others will be kept in the partnership port as a portfolio asset. Within target markets, some properties will be assigned to other investors and some will be kept as portfolio assets for cash flow and equity. All right, cat 1, single family properties, cash flow $1 million to minimum. It will be assigned if it is less than $200 per unit per month cash flow. Greater than I think I think that the way the workout is that if it's greater than, we keep it. Minimum 12%. For an investment or greater. Age, no construction older than 1970 without prior renovations. Permits. Price, max purchase price of, we have to explore this. We have max rehab budget of this. Oh. Oh my goodness. For each of the plans, there should be KPIs. Here's a plan. Here's how we know if what we're doing makes sense. See the financing plan, see performance indicators. It's not indicating one, that should be a header 2. Key performance indicator, header 2. Key performance indicator, header 2. Same thing. Communication plan, header 2. Target markets. Strategy. Summits. Buy and hold. Target markets. Cool. Summits. Some of assigned to investors for capital. These properties. Properties do not meet the criteria for buy and long-term hold or pre-established criteria for long-term hold. So the first thing, I guess, is their buy and hold. The goal would be to buy and hold everything, but everything can't be bought and held. Do not meet the criteria for long-term hold. Some markets, some properties identify some prospects, some leads captured on marketing will be assigned to other investors for capital. These properties do not meet Okay, so let's do it this way. Within target marketing, properties that do not meet the criteria for long-term holding. Will be properties that do not meet criteria for long-term holding. Then target markets. Properties. Within target market, it's properties that do not meet the criteria for long-term holds will be assigned to other investors for capital. Identified. Oh, we got 10 minutes to the end of the block. Established by cash flow less than $200 per unit per month. Yeah, man. So the best case scenario is it meets these criteria. I think that this one should go first. The numbers are all screwed up, but that's okay. So target markets.
All right, I did on check. You want to see it?
Oh, you already updated it? Yeah, you can just drop it right back in there. Let's see what it does. What it is, what it do.
You want me to share my screen?
No, just drop it in the dock. Just drop it in. We can always
Oh,
play
okay.
with it right in the spot. Done is definitely better than perfect. And that's what I'm trying to stick with that. Done is better than perfect. I want it to be good, but done is better than perfect.
What do you want to put under target market or just?
Yeah, under target markets, under this section that's highlighted. Yep, that where you took that. You can just paste it over that section.
Oh, okay.
If it makes sense.
Yeah, it does. 'Cause it's already in there.
Yeah, just highlight this top part and just swap it.
Yep. Hold on.
Oh fuck!
You
got paste without formatting. You got it. Oh no. Okay, cool. Okay, so Atlanta, Georgia. That's super interesting. This would be header 3. So Atlanta, King County, Washington. I'm be honest, I didn't fucking see that.
I know.
Dallas County, okay. I fuck with it. Miami-Dade, hey yo. How'd you know?
You could tell. Just by
Cook
being
County. He just knew. How many did it spit out? Orange County, California.
there. I did 10. I think this is the most. I tried to do 20, but it was too much for ChatGPT.
Okay. Park County, Las Vegas. Oh yeah, that's Las Vegas. No, Franklin County, Ohio. Wow, I gotta read through these. This is good. This is good shit. Wait, hold on. What size is the font here? I think it's set up at normal Proxima 11. Are all these normal Proxima 11? They are. Weird. I'm gonna have to remove the formatting. It looks weird as far as spacing goes. Las Vegas. Final takeaway. Okay, cool. For primary markets, consider Fulton, and their balanced profiles, potential growth and alignment. That's good. Bro, this is good. Final takeaway, I'm gonna take that up front. Take away. That's the. So going back up to target markets, definitions here. Pow, put that here. Bang, bang, bang. For primary markets, balanced profiles, growth potential, and alignment with our investment strategy to generate 60,000 per month. For secondary markets, looking at King County, Miami-Dade. Okay, that makes sense. High value, but with some specific risks and challenges. Okay, I respect it. High competition. I don't think that's a bad thing. I like that. Seasonable variability in tourism. Okay, that's a fair point. Emergent tech scene. What is that? That's for. Oh, you added it. Did it automatically do a SWOT analysis, or did you tell it to do a SWOT analysis?
I told it to do a SWOT analysis.
Oh, that's fucking gold, man. That's gold. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Regulatory challenges. I'm gonna need it to expand on that one for King County. Few major companies. What companies are those? That's good. I'm just gonna make comments on here as we go.
All right.
5 minutes for pro dev. Damn, it's already. Damn, that's crazy. What do I have next? I have to go read after this. So at 1 o'clock, I gotta do a hard stop. I'm gonna still be here. I'm gonna focus on listening to $100 million offers. Well, I'm gonna do offers because I'm gonna spend the time. So I have to listen to it so I can redevelop it. So I already did round one where I listened to it. Now I have to go through and actually hit the steps because I didn't actually do all the things while he said it, but I had to absorb it at least one time. You know, that'll be a hard stop at 12:55. And I'll put 30 minutes into that, and then it's research time. And so then, I mean, it's the same thing, kind of, but it just aligns very well. Okay, I'll close this right now. Oh, this is good. This is really good, dude. Thank you for that. Close that. Okay. Which universities? What challenges? Can you go? So you were already doing a SWOT analysis on like the different tools and platforms we're using. Can you make a section underneath? I'm thinking like communications technology. Communication.
What do you mean?
What I wanna do is I wanna put in this document, in the business plan, the tools and text that we're using and why, right? And how we're gonna do it. Does that make sense? So like I'll grab it straight out of my notes because I have one in here. Scrutinize it and let me know. Scrutinize it so that we can kind of get a tighter understanding of what we're going to be doing. Communication and tech plan. So I just down in the so if you look at the header down here under communications, I'll say communication plan. It's almost down the bottom. So it's marketing. There's finance, marketing, operations, and then there is excuse me, communications plan. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not in there. Maybe it's tools, something like that. Because I think that they actually, now I think about it, I think it's a different thing. So let me do this. Let's do this. Tools and technology. Tools, resources, technology. Tools, technology, and resources. And it doesn't necessarily need a API thing there. There should be up here under the communication plan. I don't know why it's doing that. I'll figure that shit out later. I'm not fighting with that right now. Okay. Target markets. Fulton County. I like that. Strengths. Cool. Can it can you ask did you do that did you ask Agent GPT to make like to do the bullet point format?
Yep.
Could you ask it to do it in the table format? Same thing, just in table form, so that it takes up less space. Is that possible?
Let's see.
Oh, there it is. I gotta set an alarm for that. All right, team. Definitely gotta get the alarm set up for that one. But this has been today's Squad Down with myself, Parrot Capers, and my guy Earl Perry. We are gonna stop the live. We will be on Zoom. If you have any questions, concerns, anything about anything you saw today, please follow up with me. Shoot me a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Comments are always welcome. And it'd be a blast if you guys have anything for us, and then we'd love to hear more about it. Other than
Oh,
that,
wow, I did.
it put it in table format.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah. Let's
Oh,
grab
wow.
that. Let's go. All right. And I'm gonna stop the stream and we'll call it a day for that function. This is Parascapers signing off. Going to those settings. Stop streaming. Oh, that is not doing what it was supposed to do. We're gonna go over here. There we go. Where are you?
Mm-hmm. Is it a fake? Is it a fake one? Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Give me a background in real estate. You'll appreciate it. Since I can't access real-time data, this hypothetical analysis uses